What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild today here on the channel. Today, as you can tell, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that's in the middle of a rebuild right now, and honestly, I think have a really bright future led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort. I'm really excited to build around these young three right here today. So we got a normal three-year rebuild. Our goal is to obviously win a championship, and I think with this current core we have right now, we got a pretty good shot. So as always, before we do get into this, I do want to hear from you guys what your guys' thoughts are for some other potential rebuilds. I do want to get into some challenges and stuff like that. We're hoping to have pretty much a 3-week upload streak right now while I'm on my winter break here at school. So I'd be super excited if we can actually complete that, but I do want to hear from you guys what you guys want to see. And as always, if you guys are new around here, could subscribe to the channel, would like to join the community, we would love to have you. And hope you guys are all having a good start off to your 2022. Let's get into it. So we'll go over this team's roster, what they kind of have going for them right now. Obviously, it is a rebuilding year for them in real life, so they're not very good right now. We obviously don't have start today, so we're not going to be using that. We have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who did re-sign with this team. I'm one of his biggest fans, man. I absolutely do love Shai. I'm really excited to use him today. 100% not going anywhere. We have Teo Malden as well at the backup point guard spot. They have Josh Giddey in here listed as a shooting guard. I don't really think it matters, whatever position you want to play Shai and Josh out. They're obviously both going to be in the backcourt together. It really doesn't matter. He's going to be a 79 overall for us. Extremely excited to see what he's going to do for us moving forward. We also have Ty Jerome, Trey Mann. Down here as well, Lou Dort, definitely going to be another building block of this team. I would like to start him the entirety of this video. Unfortunately, if it doesn't necessarily translate to wins, and he's maybe one of the weaker links at the starting lineup, we might have to get moved to the bench. But I would definitely like to keep him the entire time in today's video. Kendrick Williams here as well. Someone I'm actually really liking, like I watched some of his highlights recently. Aaron Wiggins has actually been actually pretty decent for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Listed as a 68 overall here, but this dude has some pretty I don't even know the word to describe it. Pretty vicious slams, if you will. So I don't know if we're going to use him, but again, we'll see. Alexis, I don't know, Poku, I think they call him, whatever the hell his name is. I don't think he's a long-term answer here. Gabriel Deck, Darius Baisley as well. And then center, Derek Favors, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, Isaiah Roby, and Mike Muscala. So we do have a lot of work to do with this team. The good thing about this team is I believe we do have a decent amount of draft picks here. Yes, we do. So that's going to be something that's pretty good for us moving forward. I'm sure a lot of you know when I tend to make trades, I tend to include some picks, especially if we want to go for a home run trade. So that being said, we are going to make a move or two potentially before year number one starts. I'll see you guys at that first trade. Our first trade here is going to be coming with the Memphis Grizzlies. We're kind of just going ahead and selling some of our assets right now. I know this team's not going to be good. It's definitely not a contending year. Derek Favors on a 1-year deal here. We're going to get our 2022 first-round pick from the Memphis Grizzlies. Are they going to be good? Probably, but a first-round pick is a first-round pick, and our first trade is in the books. Next trade here is coming with the Sacramento Kings, Gabriel Deck, and a second-round pick. We're picking up Terrence Davis. Going to be a little bit of an upgrade over Ty Jerome at that backup shooting guard spot to back up Josh Giddey. So welcome to the team, Terrence Davis. Not a bad second move whatsoever. And our final trade I'm going to do here is going to be moving on from Mike Muscala, wherever he is. He's here somewhere. He's got a 74 overall. So yeah, if I can just acquire another first-round pick, that's really all I need. I don't really care about the player I get in return, but if possible, I would like to get a first-round pick of some sort. And of course, I'm not really getting offered any. Oh boy. Okay, I'm not really getting offered any first-round picks. Who do I really not need on this team? Like Sam Merrill, can I include you and maybe get? I just picked him up actually. Can I include you and maybe get a first-round pick of some sort? I don't need any players back, which is kind of my problem. Maybe I can trade for Cameron Payne, get him back, and then I can trade Cameron Payne because, again, I don't really need these guys, but I'd like to kind of maximize my assets, if you will, right now and kind of see what I can get for some of these guys. So, Cameron Payne, it really doesn't need to be anybody that good. And we're running out of offers. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take a second-round pick in Ish Smith. That's fine by me. I'll see you guys at the rotation. So here's how the rotation's going to look at the start of year number one. This team, as I mentioned, we're not going to be contending for anything. We're probably going to be at the bottom of the Western Conference. But honestly, that's kind of fine with me because I think the higher the pick we get going into next year's draft, we're also going to have a decent amount of money in free agency. I think by next season, we should be a decently contending team. So year number one, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Alexei Poku, whatever you want to call him. JRE, Terrence Davis, Kendrick Williams, Isaiah Roby, Teo Malden, and then Darius Baisley getting some minutes as well. What happened to this dude? I feel like he had some potential. Is he not playing well for Oklahoma City? I don't know. And then we do have some guys down here, which, I mean, I would have liked to get Trey Mann some minutes, potentially Ty Jerome, but, you know, Wiggins is down here as well, but I just don't really have a spot for them right now. So that's how the team's going to look. I'm going to try to develop these three as high as I can, and hopefully by the start of next season, they'll do me a little bit better. I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. Probably going to be a pretty painful year. So we were very, very bad here in this first season. I don't think anybody's really surprised by that. We were 15th, so dead last in the Western Conference. And number 30 in the power rankings. If I'm being honest, I'm a little scared to look at our record. But we will see. Nikola Jokic back-to-back in the MVP department. Cade Cunningham, Rookie of the Year. Andre Drummond, Giannis, Tyrese Maxey. And Doc Rivers is your Coach of the Year. So we'll check our record real quick. We obviously don't have to worry about the playoffs right now. And we finished with a record of 15-67, by far the worst record in the league. So we, are technically, hopefully going to have the first overall pick. Of course, we do have to do a lottery first. Shea had a pretty solid season. Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Alexei Pashevsky or Poku, Terrence Davis, Jeremiah Robinson, Earl, Isaiah Roby. Not bad. This team definitely does need another scorer, though. I really can't rely on Dort or Josh Giddey to be my, second leading scorer in the long term if I want to win a championship. So we'll address that this offseason, I'm sure, and we will simulate the 2022 playoffs right now. See what ends up happening here. It is going to be a Lakers-Bucks finals, and the Bucks go back-to-back, and Giannis Antetokounmpo wins his second straight finals MVP. Good for Giannis. Alrighty, big offseason for us right now. This is not one that we can really just gloss over. I would love to increase the salary cap, but of course, I'm not going to. So we are currently projected the first overall pick. We obviously have this. Oh, we also have that Detroit pick. There's probably some sort of protection on it, though. We end up with the first overall pick, and then the Pistons do get their pick back. So we have the number 1 pick, which is huge for me. We also have, I believe we have a couple others as well. We have the 21st overall pick from Phoenix, and we have the 23rd and 24th pick as well. That's not bad. What I might try to do is combine all 3 of those later first-round picks and maybe get a little bit of a higher first-round pick, if you will. But that also should put us in contention, have Detroit's potentially unprotected first-round pick next year. And yes, it does. It's fully unprotected. That's going to be huge for us moving forward. What I'm going to do with 21, 23, and 24 right now is probably look to move up a little bit in this draft. If we're thinking hypothetical about who we're taking first overall, probably going to be Chet Holmgren. The power forward spot is a little bit of a weaker position for us right now. Also wouldn't mind maybe a Paolo Banchero or a Jalen Duran, but I think Holmgren overall is a home run for us there at that first overall pick, and then we'll maybe try to move up and maybe get one of these guards right here, maybe a Kendall Brown, if you will. So maybe I could try to move up and get Jalen Duran. That'd be a nice young front court for us there. But again, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to try to, fleece the Detroit Pistons even more. We already have their unprotected first next year, and see if they'll give me the third overall pick this year. It would have been cool if we ended up having it. I don't exactly know what the protection was on it, but I'd like to get this done, and they agree to that. So what that kind of solidifies for me right now, and what I was kind of hoping to do, is if we get 2 out of 3 of these guys right here. So we kind of have our new front court figured out. It's obviously Chet Holmgren's going 1, so he's either going to be our power forward or a center, and then depending on if Banchero or Duran goes 2, we're going to take the other one of those guys. So our new front court is set. It's going to be a thing of beauty. I'm not firing Mark. I actually kind of do like him. He doesn't have great overall ratings here, but that's fine. I'm not even going to sign any. I hate the coaching stuff here. So let's head into the draft. It's actually a very big draft for us. We're obviously going to go ahead and probably go, I don't know. Okay, come on. Can we skip ahead right now? I don't know. Obviously, Holmgren's going 1. I feel like I'd prefer Banchero low-key, but we're taking Chet Holmgren first overall. And we will sim up to our next pick at pick number 21. Pick number 3. Let's see who went number 2. It was Paolo Banchero. He went number 2, so we're taking Jalen Duran. He's going to be hopefully our starting center for the remainder of this video. I think he could do a pretty good job at it. So we have 2 top 3 picks plus Detroit's pick next year. So 80 and 78 overall, respectively. I have a lot of hopes for these guys, and I'm really hoping that kind of works out for us. So I'm going to bring all these guys back, and now I'm hoping to trade a couple of them for first-round picks. Aaron Wiggins I actually kind of want to bring back, so I'll give him the qualifying. I'm assuming at a 69 overall, he's probably not getting another offer. So we have around $32 million to play with right now. We also do have some assets here that I am going to go ahead and move on from. So we will see. I think without a doubt, I'm probably going to start to trade some of these guys down here, like Vit Krejci, whoever you are. Sure. I'm just going to actually empty out these assets, and I'll see you guys with our next move. All right, so I've made a plethora of moves, and I think they're all going to work out for us in the long run. We traded a bunch of guys who really weren't in the rotation or kind of at the bottom end of it last season. You want to take a look at all the moves we just made right there. We basically made 5 trades and acquired first-round picks in every single one of them, so it's a home run deal for us right there. We now enter a free agency class where I don't know if I really want to spend a ton of money. And the problem with that being is that I know next year's free agency class does have some decent pieces, so I could hypothetically save it. That being said, if I do that, I'm just really going to lose out on maybe a couple of these guys, like maybe JRE, potentially maybe Poku. So, I mean, I could do it, and we could maybe tank for 1 more year, but that is a little bit risky. So, I'm probably going to sign a couple 1-year deals right now. I think I'm probably going to maybe not tank, but maybe not be so good next year. We might end up maybe closer to the playoffs, but in this free agency class, I don't really see a reason to maybe go spend big money on a Kyrie or a James Harden. I just really don't see it right now. if I'm being honest with you. And I'm not spending big money on like a Bridges or a TJ Warren. So we'll wait for next year's free agency. But what we will do right now, we're going to go ahead and maybe pay potentially a couple backups some decent money. I'm going to do probably a 1-year deal with maybe Jalen Brunson. And that's the thing about, having a ton of money right now is I can kind of overpay for some of these guys and kind of get away with it right now. So Jalen Brunson, welcome to the team. Aaron Wiggins, I'm just going to... he's never going to play. It would be cool to have him on the squad, but he's really not going to play. Jalen Brunson, welcome to the team. Going to be my backup point guard at the small forward spot. Honestly, Pat Connaughton for a 1-year deal. Again, we're just going to rip these 1-year deals because I can, and it's easy, and I have the flexibility. So we're kind of putting all our chips in one basket and kind of hoping that the third season's a little bit more successful. It's kind of just the way the free agency class felt. But, for now, I'm kind of happy with the way we're going about things. I think this team's going to be in a really good position next year to get a max free agent. And as of now, I will see you guys at the start of year number 2 here in Oklahoma City. All right, start of year number 2 in Oklahoma City. Let's be honest with each other for a second. It's probably not going to be that much better at the end of the day. We're not going to be a playoff team most likely. But what we do have is a ton of young assets on this team and a hopeful max slot for next year's free agency. So here's how it's looking. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Duren. Really young, really promising starting 5. Ultimately, now we're not going to be good, but hopefully by next season with maybe an addition of some sort of big free agent, we should hopefully be in a good spot. Our bench unit's actually pretty good. Pat Connaughton, Jalen Brunson, Alexei Poku, whatever you want to call him. Terrence Davis still here, and then Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. He went from starter last year to playing 10 minutes, and I do feel bad, but I do have a little bit of high hopes here for Jalen Duren. All right, that is it for now. This team, again, not going to be good, but let's get through another painful season and hope for a really great free agency next offseason. It was a little bit of a better year number 2 here. Overall, we're 12th in the conference. It's nothing to really call home about, but ultimately a little closer to the playoffs is what we're really looking forward in the long run. Trae Young averages almost 39 points and takes home the MVP award. Chet Holmgren wins Rookie of the Year for us. 16.5 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks a game. Really happy about this young piece right here. Spencer Dinwiddie, Anthony Davis, Emmanuel Quickley, and Coach of the Year does go to Willie Green. Okay, we're not in the playoffs. That goes without being said. We can take a look at the standings right now if you guys do want to go ahead and look at those. We will finish with a record of 33 and 49. So not great, but we're going hopefully from worst to first, kind of something like that in one offseason. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you stats. We will sim the playoffs real quickly in the stats department. It was Shai, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Duren. Really solid rookie year as well. Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Jalen Brunson, Terrence Davis, Przewski, Connaughton, JRE. We can take a look in the rebound department. That was Holmgren, and assist was Shai. So, time to sim the playoffs. Hopefully this goes quick, and hopefully we are in the playoffs next year, and hopefully winning a championship. It's the Pelicans and Cavaliers final, and Zion Williamson, Mr. Hype Beast himself, doing his thing, wins his first finals and his first finals MVP. League meeting time. We will reject all of these as always. We'll hit the draft lottery now real quickly and see what we are projected. So that Clippers pick could come in handy. That Denver Nuggets pick. Oh my God, we have so many picks. Okay, so it's a swap with the Clippers, and that Clippers pick is potentially a top 3 pick. We end up with 4. We end up with 7. We end up with 13, 15. Not bad. I can live with that right now. That's actually really good. Staff signing, we could go ahead and get a new head coach. We could just go after Mike Stauffer. I don't know, is he going to accept? All right, he's kind of a little bit of a cheat code in the game. He ends up being he has 100 rating and everything. He's a developer on the game. But yeah, whole lot of picks in this year's draft. What I might do is trade a lot of them for assets. Ultimately, maybe if I could trade maybe one of our young pieces that's not making a ton of money, because I do want to sign a big free agent, just because I don't really sign big free agents often. So if I were to look at this roster right now, we only really have 3 guys. So we might actually really not be using any of these guys in a trade piece, obviously. So what I want to do with these picks right here is potentially, I'm going to trade all these. So besides 4 and 7, I'm going to swap all of these for some future picks right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and potentially figure something out. Okay, they're not going to offer me picks, are they? Damn it. All right, let me do this one by one. I'll show you guys all the trades after. All right, so I traded all the picks that weren't 4 or 7, and I'm sticking to my guns. I want to sign a big free agent. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep moving down and keep acquiring assets. I know it might not be everybody's favorite thing to do, but you got to wait a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the big player here. So I'm just going to keep trading down if I can keep finding these trades, because I don't want to pay anybody money that's going to kind of restrict me from going ahead and signing a max free agent. So I'm not really finding much right here. How about for number 7? It's actually probably not going to really be that much different. What are these offers, bro? I'll take the 12th. Oh, this is such a bad deal. It's a terrible deal, but honestly, I'm just going to kind of give up on these picks. I don't really need them. I really, really don't. So I'm just going to go ahead, keep trading them, and hopefully get something that's, worth some future potential trade. And then we can kind of go from there. I'd love to trade for, Paul George or something, but it's just really not going to happen today. Oh, mother of God. All right, I'm going to do this manually just because this is taking so long. I'll be back. I finally got rid of all the picks. It's for a bunch of future first-round picks. We're going to bring all 3 of these guys back right now. Qualifying offers, we have none. So we take a look before we head into free agency about what this roster is looking like right now. It's a pretty decent roster. It really, really is. What I'm worried about right now is signing a big-name free agent, and I really do want to do that right now. So we can kind of take a look at some of our options right now. This is definitely a better free agency class than last year. I could try to hit a home run and maybe go after Nikola Jokic. That's the most it lets me give him. I'm definitely going to give him an offer. It makes no sense for me to not give him an offer. Currently, he's number 2 behind the Spurs. That sucks. Okay, so I'm assuming that Zion and John Moran are both going to get matched. Probably Darius Garland as well, who we really wouldn't need anyways. Maybe could go after a Zach LaVine. I also do have to worry about getting Lou Dort back. I can't just let him walk. He's definitely somebody that I do want back, and he's unrestricted. Why is he unrestricted? That's a little weird. Okay. I could go after an RJ Barrett. Looks like the Knicks are going to basically match anything. I'm assuming that I don't know. I could also go after Bradley Beal, who's here. He's also an option. And then other than that, it's not a tremendous... Like, it's a really good free agency class, don't get me wrong, but it's not, like, unbelievable. So, at a minimum, we're definitely going to get Bradley Beal. That goes without being said. I'm also going to potentially make an offer. I think I'll also make an offer maybe on a Zach LaVine. I think I could do that. All right, we're going to try to get Zach LaVine as well. I think he'd be a good option. So let's see what happens here. We end up getting both Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine. Let's just look at like some of their numbers from last year. 26, 4, and 5 versus 20. Age difference isn't that crazy. All right. We're going to let Terrence Davis go, and we're going to basically go ahead and we're going to bring in Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal is a pretty good pickup right there. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. He's honestly probably going to start, and then Lou Dort will come back as well. Nikola Jokic goes to the Spurs. So what I need to do right now is make sure that Lou Dort doesn't get any offers, because we can still afford him because he only has a $2.9 million, technically like cap hold, if you will. And so he's back, or excuse me, Bradley Beal is here, and now I'm going to pay Lou Dort, who's probably going to be starting for us again. Welcome to the team, Lou Dort, and I think we just signed our big free agent that we were hoping for. Josh Giddey's now going to come off the bench, and we now need to figure out a little bit of a bench. But one thing we do have going for us is we have a lot of picks. So if I sign some of these guys who maybe aren't as good, it's actually going to let me bring back Jalen Brunson. That's actually really nice as well. Can I get DiVincenzo? No. So it's going to let me bring back Jalen Brunson, which is actually kind of huge for us. And then now maybe I go out and sign like a George Brooks, who I've actually signed a decent amount. Cool, welcome to the team. We're going to try to make some pretty good trades right now. I'll see you guys with some moves. This is not a trade I saw myself doing, but in order to upgrade, we're going to have to make some moves. So I'm going to have to unfortunately get rid of Lou Dort and Jalen Brunson if I want to get Jalen Brown. I think it would be an absolutely great pickup for us, and we're going to get to be able to... I mean, we have every single pick under the sun. Jalen Brown, welcome to the team. We need to go from basically not being in the playoffs to winning a championship in one offseason, and that's not a small feat whatsoever. So, yeah, Lou Dort's gone. That's unfortunate. We did pick up James Ennis, who could actually be a pretty decent backup for us, but I have the assets, so I might try to go ahead and maybe trade him. We also do have George Brooks here. Whoops, excuse me, wrong button. So I'm probably going to trade him along with a couple first-round picks now and hopefully get a new upgrade at that backup point guard spot. I could also maybe slide Giddey down there if it's a shooting guard that I do get. So we are going to look, and we are going to see what options I do have. Obviously, we're a little bit restricted in the money department now. Like Peyton Pritchard, Sean Highland. What's his numbers? 11 points last year. Actually, not bad. We also get Roku Praxian. Welcome to the team, which means I'm going to have to slide Giddey down to the backup point guard spot. He goes from an 81 to an 80. That's not bad. I'm actually fine with that because that's actually going to be the squad because then Jalen Brown just won't have a backup. That's actually 100% fine by me. All right, we made a couple moves, some a little, maybe a little more questionable than others, but I'm confident in this group. I will see you guys at the start of the third and final season here in Oklahoma City. Year number 3, the third and final season. We've made some major changes to this starting 5 and this roster as a whole. I'm hoping they work out for the better, and this team somehow ends up winning a championship this year. It's a little bit risky the way we played this, but I'm pretty confident. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Bradley Beal, Jalen Brown, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Duran. Our bench unit, Josh Giddey, Alexei Poku, whatever you want to call him, Deshaun Highland, and Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. It's a pretty decent squad. It's a 9-man rotation. Here goes nothing, man. I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final year. Trae Young averages 38 points for the second straight year, wins back-to-back MVPs. We are all the way up to a 2 seed here in the Western Conference. We're number 1 in the power rankings as well. Those don't tend to really matter. Victor Wembanyama, your rookie of the year, is in Houston. Tyus Jones, 6th man. Giannis Antetokounmpo, defensive player of the year. Isaac Okoro, most improved. Willie Green, coach of the year. I'm a little nervous, especially about these Pelicans if we do have to face them, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Standings-wise, finished with a record of 53-29. Honestly, not too bad. I would have been tied for the first seed over there in the Eastern Conference. Player stats in the year. Bradley Beal, Chet Holmgren, Shai. I mean, scoring definitely got, spread out a little bit more. We added a ton more talent, so it's definitely understandable. Okay. We'll send the play and see who we got here in the first round. It ends up being the Houston Rockets, who, are a pretty good young core. They actually had a D-Lo. They also have Jalen Green. I don't know how you don't start Kevin Porter Jr. Oh, my God. They have oh, my shit. They still have John Wall. Holy hell. All right. Well, this is interesting. We're up 3-0 on them, which is always good. And we sweep them. Moving on to Memphis and Ja Morant, who is very good himself. Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jackson Jr., Xavier Tillman, Simons on the bench, Melton, Cody Zeller. Here goes nothing, man. I'm trying to hopefully do something that I really don't do very often. Not making the playoffs in the first 2 years and then winning a championship. And we're going to Game 7 here already. Fuck. Oh, my God. We made it. And we don't even have to face the Pelicans. We're facing the Timberwolves, who have Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jay McDaniels, Jabari Smith Jr., Cat, Vanderbilt, White, Pat Beverly, Seth Curry. Oh, come on. Don't let me lose to this squad. I'd much rather face this team than I would the New Orleans Pelicans. We're up 3-1 right now. And we're facing the Celtics in the finals. If we make it and we're going to a Game 7, come on, baby. Put me in the finals. We're in the NBA Finals. We are facing Jalen Brunson, Josh Richardson, Jason Tatum, Keldon Johnson. So we did go ahead and kind of hit a home run in the aspect that we took Jaylen Brown from this team, but we gave them Lou Dort. And we gave them Jalen Brunson. They're a very good squad. We do win Game 1. We lose Game 2. Lose Game 3. Lose Game 4. Don't do this to me. All right, 3-2. I'm only hopping in if it's close. Oh, my God. We're getting blown out. We're getting blown out. Oh, God. Okay. Well, that's all she wrote in this one, folks. We end up dropping 90 points in Game 6 of the NBA Finals and Jason Tatum and the Celtics. Why can't things like this happen in real life? Why can't the Celtics win in real life? All right, nonetheless, we took a risk. We took a little bit of a different approach than I normally take. We still ended with a really fun roster, and we ended up making a final, so that was cool. If you guys enjoyed, and you can leave a like down below, I would definitely appreciate it. As always, I do want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. What other challenges, and not challenge, what other challenges, but what challenges do you guys want to see me do, and what other sorts of rebuilds? Because I can just keep doing normal rebuilds, but I know they do get old at some point. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a great start to your 2022. I'm actually recording this on December 31st, so you guys are seeing this in a different year. It's kind of weird to think about, but that pretty much wraps us up. Thank you guys for a great year. Obviously, we had our ups and downs, and it's only looking up from here. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys all in the next one.